Week 9 in the Always Sunny in Sayreville League. Uh-oh. This is the weekly update. Week 9 in the Always Sunny League was a wild one. We had a couple of really interesting games. The Rusty Strombone clinched his playoff spot this past weekend. But the top story this week is the matchup between Team Blumpkin and the Gotham Rogues. The game was won by Team Blumpkin by a score of 150.7 to 149.3. And while that 1.4 point margin is good enough for fourth closest game on the all-time list, that's not why this game is interesting. This final score changed several times between the end of the game and the finalizing of the actual score. And actually, it should have changed one more time, but we'll get to that in a minute. So, okay, after the game was played, the score was 150.3 to 147.7. The Gotham Rogues had won the game against Team Blumpkin. Early Monday, the Commissioner's office received correspondence from the front offices of Team Blumpkin that suggested not one, but 2 red flag challenges that would affect the outcome of their game against the Gotham Rogues. But it was not without a little gamesmanship that these overtures were made.
If someone was to use the coach's challenge, do you inform the other person in advance? Because there's 3 points that I can get if I use it, but he also has 3 points. He can get it if he uses it too, but I don't think he'll think of it.
Coach's challenge is the responsibility of the individual teams. I'm not gonna blow up your spot.
Sweet, I just got to send you an NFL.com link to those plays then?
It would suck to have anyone be the example. But having a team lose due to a coach's challenge would be a good lesson for everyone to learn.
LOL, thanks, Commish. You got my vote when you're up for re-election.
So, after deciding to take his chances with the red flag, Mike challenged 2 plays in the Arizona Cardinals-Dallas Cowboys game. The first of them was the Dallas Cowboys early pick 6 interception for a touchdown. Now, if you watch the coach's challenge video, you would know that points scored against your defense's offense don't count against your defense. Meaning that, in a pick 6 situation, the Arizona defense wasn't on the field when that touchdown was scored. So the points against don't count against the Arizona defense. I will give you credit for those points back. So instead of giving up 17 points, the Arizona defense only gave up 10 points, which raised his score from a 1 to a 3, increasing his score by 2 points. Now, the other play was a 4th down stop. On other websites, they actually allow you to give points for 4th down stops, but ESPN still doesn't. At some point in the game, the Arizona Cardinals got a 4th down stop against the Dallas Cowboy offense, and so for that, you are entitled to 1 extra point. And so that was a total of 3 extra points that Team Blumpkin could add onto their score. Those 3 points brought the final score at that time to 150.7 to 150.3. 4/10 of a point win, which would have been good enough for the closest game ever. However, there was a random ESPN stat correction, and Narkowitz's score got dropped to 149.3. I didn't make that stat correction. That was just, NFL, ESPN. I feel you, bro. That was the same thing that happened to me, that I lost that game a couple weeks ago. Anyway. Not that I'm still thinking about that. So anyway, Mike sent me the links to the specific pages that showed the plays or stats that were in question that proved his point on the NFL.com page. Now, his examples happen to include videos, but yours don't have to include videos. Yours can just include stats. For example, Narkowitz could have clicked over to NFL.com and clicked on the Kansas City Chiefs versus New York Jets game, rolled down and hit the Analyze Box Score tab that's right there, so you can see all the stats. And then you roll down and you roll down, and you can see that on 4th down conversions, okay, when the team that's playing against your defense has 4th down conversions, that means they're going for it on 4th down, okay? And when they have failed 4th down conversions, what does that mean? That means they were stopped when they went for it on 4th down, right? So if A team is, and let's work on this one together, going for it up for fourth down 5 times, and they only make it 2 times. How many times did you stop them on fourth down? 3 times, right? Well, the Gotham Rogues could have thrown the red challenge flag and added 3 points to their score, okay, bumping their score back up and beating Team Blumpkin, but they failed to throw the red flag by noon on Thursday following the game, and Team Blumpkin runs away with the 1.4-point win. So let that be a lesson to all of you. This matchup was won by the more attentive manager, just for doing that one little thing that Tom Coughlin just can't seem to do: throw the red flag. And for that, Team Blumpkin is this week's hero. Alright, so now we move on to this week's GOAT. And no, it's not Narkowitz. He could very easily be this week's GOAT, but instead, I'm just disappointed in Narkowitz. I thought for sure he would see the stat correction and then do his homework and come at me with the right links on email, and he didn't. He just totally disappointed me. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. So this week's GOAT is Bobby J. She gave me the Crabtrees. Another horrendously pitiful performance. He lost his matchup 117.3 to 58.5. 58.5. 58.5. That's the lowest score of the week by 24 points, and it's the 4th lowest score ever. And with that, Bobby J now owns the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th lowest scores ever by any team in a single game. 2, 3, and 4. 3 out of the top 4. 3 out of the bottom 4. However you want to. That's distinguished. Phil Rivers put up a 2.2. At least it was a positive 2.2 this time. And the Redskins defense scored a 0.0. He had 2 players in double digits, but both of those players were under a 13.2. With this loss, Bobby J finds himself front and center on the elimination bubble. And for that, She Gave Me the Crabtrees is this week's GOAT. Are we sure the J doesn't stand for Jaguars? Alright guys, key matchups. The first key matchup we're going to take a look at this week is between 6-3 Le'Veon's Blunts and 6-3 Shower Hug. Now these teams are both in second place in their division, and they're both vying for playoff position. Neither one of them wants to lose this game, and Peyton Manning and Julius Thomas are playing against the Raiders, so you know the Blunts have got a shot. All the rest of the matchups in the league this week are actually very interesting because they're all divisional matchups, and they all obviously have a lot to do with playoff position because everybody's so bunched up right now. But the two that I'm going to highlight are 8-1 Rusty Strombone versus 2-7 the Golden Showers, and 4-5 Open Slot versus 2-7 She Gave Me the Crabtrees. Now these, for all intents and purposes, are elimination games for the Golden Showers and She Gave Me the Crabtrees. These guys do not want to lose this game, or they're more than likely eliminated. I mean, mathematically, I'm not a genius. I'm not a Leonard Hofstetter, but these guys are desperate for a win to keep their very slim playoff hopes alive. So we're going to keep our eye on those two games. And that's it. Week 9 update over. Remember to set your lineups. Remember that the trade deadline is Wednesday. Okay. If you make a trade, I know the trade deadline says noon on Wednesday. If you make a trade and I can't approve it by noon because I'm at work, then I will approve it when I get home. I don't think it's going to be an issue, but you know, you never know. Shoot me a text if there's a problem. And I will see you next week where it's always sunny.